My husband was a serial killer. It's hard for me to even start talking about this, and I'm not going to give away too much because the last thing I want is for someone to figure out who my husband really is. I still love him, and I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. A few months ago, we were living in Arizona when I came across some things I wasn't supposed to see. I was cleaning out the attic and found this old, beat-up box hidden away behind some old furniture. Inside were newspaper clippings, photos, and other things, stuff that made my blood run cold. At first, I thought it was just from some crime show he'd been into or maybe something left over from a long time ago. But as I kept digging, I realized the articles were about real murders, and there were details in those papers that never made the news. I could barely breathe when I recognized his handwriting on some of the notes. I confronted him that night, and I'll never forget the way he looked at me. It wasn't anger or fear. It was more like resignation. He just sat me down and told me everything. He didn't sugarcoat it, but he also didn't show any emotion about it, like he was talking about a life that wasn't even his anymore. He explained that it had been years since it all happened, and he wasn't that person anymore. He told me he'd left that life behind long before we ever met, and that he didn't want to hurt anyone ever again. It was such a surreal moment, but here's the thing, I didn't feel afraid of him, not like I thought I would. I should have run right then and there, but instead, I stayed. I don't know what's wrong with me, but part of me just couldn't walk away from the man I fell in love with. The man I know now isn't the same as the one who did those things. Or at least, I keep telling myself that. I still haven't told anyone, and I don't plan to. It's hard living with this secret, but I've made my choice. I still love him, and for better or worse, I'm staying.